Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about the importance of being process-oriented rather than outcome-oriented with your strength training. And this is one thing that can be hard to do with clients because a lot of my clients come to me with a very, very specific strength goal. And the problem we have with that is they always want to know, well, how soon can I reach this goal? What's my time frame for reaching this goal? And the fact of the matter is, if I give them a number, that's not going to help them, right? If I give them a number, that's not going to help them. And some people would say, well, why? Why wouldn't it help them? Want to keep them motivated? No. They're hiring a coach to keep them motivated. They're hiring a coach to help them reach their goals. They need to become process-oriented and trust in the process. Because here's what's going to happen. If I give you an exact time frame, if my time frame is an underestimate, you may achieve less. In other words, if it's something that you're physically capable of doing in 10 weeks and I tell you 6 months, what's going to happen? You're going to placebo yourself into not reaching it on time. And if I tell you something that's really, really off in the other direction, when you don't reach it, you're going to become completely discouraged, demoralized, and you're going to possibly give up. And I'm not saying I don't set goals. I've set strength goals for myself, but do you know why I've set strength goals for myself? Only because I have an audience who ask me, and they want to know, and they almost demand it. You know, if I didn't have that audience, I wouldn't actually set numbers at all. Why? Because setting those numbers is irrelevant. It's not what we should be focusing on. We should be focusing on maximizing our potential. All right, I've set that goal of the 600-pound squat. But what if I'm genetically capable of a 700-pound squat? Well, me focusing on the 600 would be pretty stupid, wouldn't it? Right? You see the problem there? And what happens if I want to reach it in a certain time frame? What if I'm capable of reaching 7? And I'm so obsessed with the 6 with a certain time frame, and I don't reach it in the time frame I think I should, then what happens? We become discouraged and demoralized. It's not good. Instead, we should be focused on the process of getting there. Okay? Once you set a goal, you don't need to think about that goal again. It's a bad idea. And every expert will tell you that, not just with training and nutrition. They'll tell you that in most endeavors in life. The most successful people at most endeavors reach them not because they obsess over the goal. People have been told that, oh yeah, it's striving, reaching for that goal. That's how you do it. No, that's how you become demoralized. That's how you get off track, because you're obsessed with the goal. You need to be obsessed with the process. What do I mean? If you know that dynamic effort benching is the secret and the process that's going to be most important to helping you reach a bench press goal, you need to be obsessed with dynamic effort benching and forget about the goal. Right? If you know that is the key, and you're going to have to do 10,000 reps over the course of X number of years to reach that goal, you need to be obsessed with getting that 10,000 reps in of the dynamic work. That needs to be the only thing you think about regarding it. You need to be consistent with it, and you need to give that process 100% day in, day out without fail, no matter how slow or fast the time frame is moving towards your goal, because that is the key to reaching your goal. Thinking about the goal isn't going to do shit for you. Okay? If you have a game plan for reaching a goal, and you have a process that makes sense, and I'm not saying that process doesn't require you to step in and analyze it sometimes, but if you have that process, and you know that process is the key to reaching a goal, and you start thinking about the goal instead of the process, you're not doing shit to help yourself. All you're doing is derailing yourself. You need to be obsessed with the process. And it comes back to that same thing I talk about with habits and discipline versus motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Obsessing over a goal is motivation. Motivation will never get you anywhere in the long term. Motivation is only of short-term value. Motivation is what gets you started into habits. In other words, getting into the habit of knowing that max effort bench press day is every Monday. Dynamic effort squat and deadlift day are every Friday. That's your habit. You don't miss workouts. Right? You get into the habit. You know that you have to eat whatever your 200 grams of protein based on your body weight is critical to reach your goals through the hypertrophy aspects of it from the nutrition end. You need to get into the habit of eating the 200 grams of protein every day. Motivation should only exist for the purpose of establishing habits. It has no value to you in reaching your goals outside of that. And when you start using motivation as your driving tool to do anything, you will fail. You are setting yourself up for failure. If you're using motivation as anything but a short term to establish habits, it's habits that build discipline. Okay, discipline is not randomly built. We don't just automatically have discipline. It's something that's built, and it's built through habits. It's built through practice. Right? Habits and discipline and practice are far more valuable than motivation. Motivation's useless beyond a little bit of short-term boost. That's it. It has no use to you outside of that. Habits and discipline that you build over time, so that when the motivation fades, you have the habits and discipline to keep you moving forward. It's the same concept with the process versus the outcome. Okay? Our motivation for initiating the process is the outcome. Right? We have a goal or a set of goals that we want to reach. We formulate a process. That process might be you doing it yourself. Mine certainly is. Might be hiring a coach. In case of my clients, they hire me for it. Their job at that point is to follow the process. And I can tell you right now, my success rate with clients, those who follow the process get the fastest and most consistent results every single time. Those who question it, those who second guess it, those who want to change things, always get slower results. And then they're the whiniest about the progress that they make. And it's kind of like, well, you did it to yourself. I gave you the game plan. You chose to argue about points of it and deviate from it. Instead of saying, hey, why am I doing this? You said, I don't want to do this. Well, you just have to remind those people, if you knew how to do this on your own, you wouldn't have hired me. Right? You wouldn't have needed to hire anybody if you knew what you were doing. You would have just figured it out on your own. Maybe you shouldn't be changing things based on what you know. Because I've noticed that's pretty consistent. Like I can say that with 100% accuracy so far. Here's what it comes down to. The process. You establish a process. You can't focus on the outcome. You focus on the process. Whether it's a process you hired someone to give you, or it's a process that you, through your own knowledge and research and wisdom, have set in motion on your own. If you trust in the process, then that's what you need to obsess over. That's what you need to think about. That's what you need to worry about every day, and ignore the goal. The goal becomes irrelevant, because if the process is valid, you will reach the goal by default. When you think about the goal, you reduce your chances of reaching the goal, because you're not focusing on the process. You wasted 30 seconds thinking about the goal instead of the process. Okay? So what I would suggest to you guys for strength, find a set of initial goals. Don't worry about your strength goals. Why don't you worry about the process of getting as strong as you possibly can? every day, day in, day out. Focus on getting as strong as you possibly can through a proven process. Then when you finally get strong enough that you don't care about getting stronger, you can maintain it. But if you think about, well, my goal is to hit this exact number, why don't you just get as strong as you can? Why don't you make that a goal? That's a goal. And follow the process. Obsess over getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I promise you, you'll get a hell of a lot stronger doing that than you will thinking about a goal. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.